What's going on, YouTube? The auto market is dominated by SUVs in the US, but many forget that it wasn't always that way. In the luxury space, one of the earliest brands to introduce a luxury SUV was Lexus with the RX, which has become one of the very best-selling luxury models ever since then. On the mainstream side, Toyota has a lineup full of utilities, one of which kinda seems to step on the toes of the RX. That model is the new Crown Signia, which has Lexus-like amenities and design. But we want to know, is this new Toyota the way to go and save thousands over the RX? That's what we're about to find out. A great place to start this comparison is by discussing the pricing. Let's start with the oh-so-popular Lexus RX. We have one of the new trims for 2025, the F-Sport design, which combines the popular options most people buy. This mid-tier model rings in at just over 60 grand. Moving to the Toyota, we have the highest-end limited trim for equivalency's sake. It comes in at a price tag of $51,695, which is less than the Lexus, but might be a little closer than you expected. By the way, if you want to get the best price from local dealerships and access to invoice pricing info for these two models or any vehicle, we have a tool on our website to do just that. It's a great tool for shopping, so be sure to check the link in the description for more info. If you're new to our comparisons, we conduct them in an objective way. We have done our best to weigh the points awarded throughout in major and minor categories, and towards the end, we will go over reliability and resale information, as well as revisit the pricing gap for a value assessment. So which SUV does it best? Let's get into it. They say imitation is the best form of flattery, and you'll certainly see that going on between these two SUVs. Obviously, they do hail from the same parent company, but this Crown Signia is easily the most Lexus-like Toyota in terms of its overall design. Both models have a spindle shape to the grille, and this RX has the F-Sport design package, which gives it a bit of a sportier look versus the more luxury-focused Crown Signia. For lighting, both have premium projector LEDs as standard equipment. They do have some differences though. Only the Toyota includes LED turn signals as standard equipment, and on the flip side, only the Lexus includes fog lamps. Moving to the side, both are front-wheel drive based crossovers, and lengthwise they are very similar. The Crown Signia is more wagon-like than the RX, and both have quite large 21-inch alloy wheels to spice up their designs. We will see how ride quality, interior, and cargo space stack up later on in this comparison. As we continue our way around to the backs, both have tasteful designs. Beyond the cosmetics, which we don't score, there's only one real feature difference, and that's that only the RX hides its rear wiper under the spoiler to keep it from being weathered. Lighting is fully LED on both, and as far as towing capacity, the RX has a 25% advantage. Now let's move on to some of the individual features. Checking out the mirrors, they come nicely equipped with heating, blind spot monitoring, power folding, and even auto dimming in the case of the RX. In addition, both also include every other active safety feature you can think of, standard on all trims. You can also have the available traffic jam assistant, which is included on the Toyota as equipped today, but will cost $1,400 more to option on to the Lexus. Finally, let's mention the warranties, which are quite different. The RX has a longer powertrain and basic warranty, but the Crown Signia fights back with a longer complimentary service period. Alright, that concludes the outside, so let's see how luxurious and spacious the interiors are. But first,
if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
So first, walking up to them, both have smart entry systems, and the Lexus has a slightly nicer key fob. We do have some more differences though. While both offer digital key, it's once again an extra cost option on the RX we don't have, and is included on our Crown Signia Limited. Now when you open up the doors, you're greeted with two very modern and upscale cabins. Once again, the Crown Signia definitely has some Lexus inspiration, and that begins with our seats. It comes standard on all trims with real leather seats, whereas our Lexus, ironically enough, is using faux leather called New Lux for this trim level. The New Lux is still very nice though, and both models include heating, ventilation, and memory. For adjustability, both have the same 8 ways of power adjusting with 2-way lumbar support. Now that we're inside, we can evaluate the overall material quality. Both are very nice places to spend time and offer a wide variety of materials. The Toyota uses a lot of leatherette and soft touch plastic, but the RX will still take the lead. It uses plenty of leatherette and soft plastic, but, as expected, also adds in an extra layer of plushness with Alcantara and real open pore wood. After startup, you'll see the same 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster on both, which is new this year to the 2025 RX. A head-up display is offered on the RX, but not for this price tag. And coming back to the steering wheels, both are leather-wrapped and heated. The RX goes the extra mile with power adjustment for the wheel, and both of them have rain-sensing wipers. But moving to an area of big importance, let's talk interior storage. At Car Confections, we stuff the center console with donuts to measure volume, since that's our logo after all. In this case, the Lexus is a bit larger, fitting 13 donuts compared to 10 in the Toyota. It also has more storage in the front under its wood cover. So overall, it will take the storage point. Both models have wireless chargers, and they also have the same electronic shifter. Once in reverse, you'll find a 360-degree camera system on the Crown, which is, yet again, another extra cost option for the RX. And now that brings us to the volume knobs, so let's go ahead and give the audio systems a sample. Now, even though we have a lightly optioned RX, its standard 12-speaker audio system is still a step above the optional JBL on the Toyota. It has richer sound quality and an extra speaker. Plus, you can get a Mark Levinson system on most trims if you're an audiophile. The differences will continue with the climate systems. The RX includes a 3-zone setup compared to a dual-zone one on the Toyota, and both are adjusted mostly through physical controls. Which now takes us to the 2 infotainment systems. As expected, the Toyota's display is a little smaller at 12.3 inches versus the RX's 14-inch setup. Software-wise, they have the same infotainment, with built-in navigation and wireless abilities for CarPlay and Android Auto. Wrapping up the front of the cabins, only the Toyota has a rear camera mirror system as equipped, and it's going to be the only one that includes a large panoramic sunroof. Lexus can get that option for $500 extra, and it can open while the Crown's is fixed in place. These two have fought tit for tat so far, but which has the most practical backseat and cargo area? Well, starting with the space, these two are sized nearly identically. The RX does hold a tiny advantage in legroom, and the Crown a tiny advantage in headroom, but both are less than the 5% difference required to score a point. Let's also talk about the amenities you will find in the back. Both have vents and USB ports, but only the Crown Signia has heated back seats at this price. Moving past that, after opening up the hands-free power tailgates, we have substantial differences. The RX has a 17% cargo advantage behind the second row, and the roles reverse with the Crown Signia with a significant lead in maximum capacity by about 35%. That's definitely a significant difference between these two, but it doesn't stop there. The Lexus has 40-20-40 split folding rear seats versus 60-40 split in the Crown. That allows you to have 4 passengers while hauling along a long object like skis in the cabin. Both include buttons or handles to fold the seats from the cargo area, but only the RX includes a spare tire. Now that all that is settled, it's time to take this fight out to the streets. Despite them having different badges on the front, they actually have the exact same powertrain under their hoods. That's a good thing though, since that means that they have efficient 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engines plus electric hybrid componentry, making about 246 total horsepower. While technically the Crown makes 6 less horsepower than the RX, in practice they feel identical and provide pretty good acceleration. I would be remiss not to mention that Lexus does offer 3 other powertrain choices, including a full gas setup, a plug-in hybrid, and a more powerful performance hybrid system. People like options, which will give the Lexus a half point when compared to the hybrid exclusive option for the Toyota. Alright, that was 60 miles per hour. Now, like we were talking about at the spec dump, this is a vehicle that's available in a wide assortment of powertrain choices. Some of the most choices that I've seen, maybe outside of like the Mercedes lineup. So you got 4 different ones. This is the RX 350h. So what does that mean? Well, that is the standard version of a hybrid system for them. You have a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine paired with your hybrid componentry. That together makes a total system power of 246 horsepower and 233 pound-feet of torque. Alright, and that was 60 miles per hour with the Crown Signia. Pretty nice acceleration, certainly not slow by any stretch of the imagination, and with this model, what do we have under the hood? So we've got Toyota's 4th generation hybrid system. This is combining a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine with the hybrid electric componentry, and total output on the Signia is 240 horsepower. Moving on, they both have the same transmission, which in this case is a responsive eCVT, and that's paired with standard all-wheel drive. This hybrid model comes with an eCVT. You can probably hear that right now. Nice and responsive. It's really a good match. Now, in terms of other powertrain things to mention, this does have a eCVT as your transmission. You also have standard all-wheel drive. All this is going to be working together quite nicely. It's a good and responsive feel as soon as you put your foot down. But one of the main reasons you're looking to buy either of these SUVs is for sublime ride quality. Who does it best? Well, both ride really nicely, but Lexus has Crown beat. It has one of the most comfortable ride qualities you can get in any vehicle, and it also has amazingly soft seats for ultimate comfort. On the flip side, the Crown has a little bit more agile handling characteristics than the RX, making it a little bit more fun to drive on a back road.
So this is the standard RX suspension. I think you have fantastic ride quality. This thing is one of the most comfortable vehicles money can buy, and these seats, I have to give these like the A++. When you first sit in them, it's like, oh my goodness, these are incredibly comfortable. But let's go ahead and talk about ride quality for this Crown Signia. This vehicle, like we've said multiple times, is kind of like a little bit of a Lexus for less because it's going for that luxury demographic. Now, one of the things I do want to point out about this ride quality is that it is very, very good. So, like I mentioned, we've driven this for several hours at this point, and when you hit a bump, it does a very good job of soaking it up. Even with the large 21-inch alloy wheels, I've been really nothing but impressed when it comes to the ride quality.
But noise entering the cabin is also important, which is why we collected our signature sound level readings for both of these SUVs. They register very quiet ratings, although the Crown Signia was tested in California on a media drive, so it cannot be scored officially against the RX. We look forward to testing it out in Kentucky soon, but here are the current scores for your reference in the meantime.
.7 decibels seems to be the number that we have settled in at. 54.6 is our official sound level reading.
And lastly, for fuel economy, both excel at 36 and 38 mpg combined, respectively. The Signia, because of its lower overall profile, gets 2 mpg better than the RX, which is barely above the 5% threshold required to score a point. In our reviews and comparisons, we are also adding in reliability and resale value information to give you a better picture of the overall value beyond just the original MSRP. Beginning with reliability, we developed the Combined Reliability Index, which takes into account several studies from trustworthy sources and combines them in a way that gives you a more holistic picture. Lexus ranks 10 slots above the industry average for all brands, awarding it plus 1 point. While Toyota is our number 1 brand overall for reliability, coming in a whopping 16 slots above average. That will give it 1.6 points. We also put Mason's economics degree to work to develop a detailed predicted resale value tool. After 5 years and 60,000 miles, both brands impress. Lexus is the number 1 luxury brand, retaining a predicted 53.8% of its value. But Toyota still tops it, coming in at 64.5% after 5 years. Typically, luxury brands don't hold their value as good as mainstream ones, which is why the Toyota will be scoring 1.1 points. Resale is obviously important because it determines how much money you get back, but we can't forget about the price difference at the original purchase. The Lexus RX costs $8,615 more than the Crown Signia, which will award the Toyota a half point per $1,000 or 4 points. I want to emphasize that if money, reliability, or resale value matter less to you personally, feel free to disregard these points. And if you'd like to check out all our data about reliability and resale values, as well as learn about our methodology, make sure to head over to carconfections.com/resale and /reliability. Buying a car is a big decision, and this is a great place to compare all the makes you might be cross-shopping.
Wow, so that was a hard-fought battle between two vehicles that kind of overlap a little bit in certain ways. But let's get into some kind of pros and cons and recap with who should be your personal winner based on what is most important to you. So the RX should be your choice if you're really looking for the most luxurious cabin. Obviously, that does have the leg up over the Crown. Also, if you're looking for a better warranty as well as just a better dealer experience when you're engaging with the dealership. And then also more powertrain options. If you're looking to have a performance hybrid system, if you're looking to have a plug-in hybrid, those things are not available with the Crown.
Now, on the flip side, the Crown Signia should be your choice if you want the better fuel economy. It does get better fuel economy despite having the exact same powertrain setup. It also is going to have better resale and reliability. Typically, mainstream vehicles will have a higher resale value than luxury cars, so that's actually hurting the RX in this case. Additionally, the price is just going to be less expensive overall. You're going to be saving thousands over choosing an RX, or, you could get a more fully loaded Crown Signia for the, price of an RX on the lower end that you're going to be missing some of those features. So just keep that in mind. Now, we want to know which one of these two you're taking in the comments down below. Are you taking the RX or are you taking the Crown Signia? Let us know your thoughts down below. Also, if you're looking to buy either one of these products or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, the reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and we also have a pinned comment at the top of this video. And guys, that's going to be where we leave off on this comparison. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you're going to be a part of our Car Confections family, and in this family, we do a lot of cool car reviews I promise you won't want to miss out on. Also, if you're already a part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.